Greetings.
I wish I was off adventuring.
Please have a care with our things. We don't have much.
Hello.
Terrible what happened to Halamorian. Yes, he was an insufferable ass, but he was our insufferable ass, you know?
A curious intersection of circumference and crenellation. The height of the brow, the inflection of the temple, an altogether auspicious arrangement. Forgive me, I am Ingaril, Professor of Applied Phrenology from the College of Sapiarchs. Cranial profiling is a habit I seem to have a hard time breaking. Again, if you don't mind my saying so, your head is really quite exceptional. We study the skull as it relates to cognitive behavior. When we're not on holiday, that is. This was to be my well-earned sabbatical from the College of Sapiarchs. Alas, this business with the vintner dashed any hopes for relaxation. Typical.
Seeking a sip of fine Russefeld red? Prepare for disappointment. Headed to the famed Russefeld winery, traveler. Well then, it seems I'm not the only one who'll be disappointed today. Old Halimorian's been offed by those wood elves. Won't be any wine tastings for a while, I'd wager. Just what I heard from one of the bailiffs. Apparently, some daffy Bosmer called the Ghost of the Green did it, but no one knows for sure. The investigation's hit a snag. Something about the rule of three. Superstitious nonsense, if you ask me. Indeed. Until they find a suitable third investigator, the Juris Reeves and Revelators are left to sit on their hands. Nonsense. Why not go lend them a hand? They'll likely just tell you to go jump into the sea, but it can't hurt to ask.
An examiner's quorum needs 3 members. You both know this.
Not this again.
It's not just superstition, Soraville. We need outside perspective.
And just like that, Oriel provides. Greetings, Caraval. I am Chief Juris Reeve Tarnamir of the Divine Prosecution. Or at least I was, in the long ago. I know this is unorthodox, but perhaps you'd be interested in helping us. As you can see, a murder took place here. My protégés, Lorne and Soraville, came to investigate, but I fear they may lack perspective. The particulars of this murder... Forgive me, I'm getting ahead of myself. They need fresh eyes. Yours, I believe. You would take on the duties of the adminan, the listening eye. An auspicious role. The adminan serves as the fulcrum, balancing competing theories. They also collect evidence, interview suspects and the like. What do you say? I thank the divines that you've agreed to help. This murder weighs heavy on all of us. The victim, Halamorian, was not well liked. Many locals may lift a glass to his passing. But the assassin, the Ghost of the Green, that's altogether different. Better to ask Lorne about it. Capturing the ghost was her obsession for a time. The fact that he's returned does not sit well with her. I can say no more. I don't want to prejudice your impressions. The adminan should bring a fresh perspective. They're the most gifted investigators I've ever trained. Soraville has keen eyes and solid instincts when it comes to reading people. Good at finding pressure points, you know. As for Lorne, she has a mind like a dwarven puzzle box. For Lorne, logic is an art. She's clinical in her sensibilities, precise. Many of us have come to rely on magical inquiry to solve crimes. She relies on her wits and intuition instead. Of course, this case presents unique challenges. Lorne and Soraville drifted apart shortly after they caught the original Ghost of the Green. It's a complicated matter, and not my story to tell. Suffice it to say, this case cuts deep, and Lorne seems distracted. I hope you can help her keep her wits. As I said, was the Chief Inquisitor for the Divine Prosecution's Hindelatus wing, the division charged with solving doctrinal crimes. Forgive me, it's a mouthful for newcomers, I know. I retired here to Russefeld a few decades ago. Well, I own the land, so in some ways I have even greater authority than I did as Chief Inquisitor. I still enjoy a bit of clout, too. Real leadership doesn't rely on titles, Kerem. Not a popular opinion here in Somerset, but true nonetheless. Ha! Fair, I suppose. I may be retired, but I've spent the better part of 3 centuries examining crime scenes and interrogating criminals. When it comes to reading people, I am more than proficient. Well, you're the right person for the job right now. Time and circumstances, my friend. Time and circumstances. I know you won't let us down.
So you'll be joining us. Good. Call me Lorne. No need for flowery titles. We Altmer have too many names already. I'm glad you're here. Outsiders often make the best adminins. A fresh pair of eyes will be essential here. More essential than usual. It's a long and depressing story. One I'm not keen to recount. For now, just know that whoever murdered Halamorian took great pains to make it look like the work of the Ghost of the Green. A killer that Soraville and I apprehended decades ago. The Ghost always left a signature to let us know it was him. He killed each victim with a single wood elf arrow to the heart, then laid a fern over the body. The fern is here, but the shot was sloppy, and the arrow is of high elven make. It's odd. I need to examine the body in more detail. Can you do a sweep of the vineyard? If you find anything, blow this whistle. It also might be worth questioning people in town. They'll be more forthcoming with an outsider.
It really is too bad about Halamorian. I told him he shouldn't be so free with his politics. It's a different climate now, after all. You have to watch what you say around people. On the upside, it's good to be rid of a rival vintner. Oh, darling, you're a bit late to the party if that's why you're here. I already submitted my statement to the revelators, and my alibi is thrice confirmed. To be honest, the only reason I'm still here is to find one of my servant girls. Yes, a charming young wood elf named Farrell. I only recently brought her on. She used to work for the late Halamorian, but there was some kind of incident. I don't know the details. According to my other servant girl, she often came back here to visit the friends she left behind. She'd attend Bosma suppers, midday revels in the grape fields, that sort of thing. I encourage my girls to take time for themselves, within reason. Aren't you a cherry blossom? That would be lovely. Take care, Karen.
Ah, you come to babble with Babblebrook? When came the killers? I had a look. Babblebrook knows what Babblebrook sings. Why can't you make sense of things? A ghost did bring the vintner's end, but even wraiths can have a friend. Don't you see? Death comes in twos. Friends and killers both win and lose. Killers and killed are two, it's true. So near, the source of fear. But Babblebrook babbles too long, it seems. Best make haste, or we'll hear more screams.
What do you want? The Revelators already questioned me and cut me loose. I just want to be here if something exciting happens. You don't? The Ghost of the Green has returned. Zen's avenging champion. Of course it's exciting. These Longlegs thought they executed him years ago, but now he's back, ready to dole out Deepwood justice. New around here, eh? Halamorian was a sap-ass dandy, slapping wood elves with one hand and groping them with the other. The Ghost of the Green just did what the prosecution wouldn't. Good riddance. Murdered? No, executed. Executed by a righteous hand. Just have a look around, outsider. I'll bet my horns you'll find evidence of misdeeds. This was a long time coming. Hopefully it put these other long-legged prigs on notice.
Another body. Delightful.
Oh, dear. Blood on her hands and blouse. But no slashing wounds. This doesn't fit the pattern. The ghost always kills with a bow. This was spur of the moment. Unexpected. Maybe she fought back.
Why do you insist on puzzling these things over like in a film? You know the death memory ritual. It's a simple...
Enough, Soraville. You know that's forbidden. Admonin, look around and see if you can find the source of this blood. You found something? So did I. It looks like Fariel was strangled, not stabbed. This blood must be the attacker's. A sickle? Blood on the blade. She must have used it to defend herself. Then the attacker hid it. This blood could be the key. I intend to, yes. I'm a fair hand at alchemy. You'd be surprised how useful it can be in my line of work. I've caught more killers with flasks and alembics than I have with any sword. My husband used to say Sorry. I suppose it's past time I told you. The ghost murdered 17 people before we caught him. His last victim was my husband. Soraville's wife committed suicide when she heard the news. They were having an affair, you see. It was a difficult time. It's fine, Now you see why we needed a neutral party. Enough. Let's get back on task. I'd like you to search Halamorian's villa. It's just southwest of here. He was unpopular. If we can find out why, we might be able to establish motive.
Greetings.
Pitiful me.
Sorry, I don't mean to be checking up on you. I just think better when I walk. And the blood is still simmering in the alembic. It will be some time before I have the results. Did you find anything of use in Halamorian's villa? From what I hear, the accusations are almost certainly true. So, Halamorian was making unwanted advances. Of course. The original ghost murder spree started with a high elf farmer who took liberties with his Bosmer laborers. We never published the details of that investigation. It can't be a coincidence. This new ghost must be someone in the know. Someone close. None that I'm keen to share, not yet anyway. For now, let's go with what we know. The Wood Elves have motive. Soraville went down to the cottage east of here to look around. Meet him there, and see if you can shake anything loose.
I'm rather busy right now.
Halamorian murdered in broad daylight. This never would have happened if the Queen... Forgive me. I'll not lecture you on politics.
A curious intersection. Forgive me.
I assure you, Chief, it would bring me no joy to unleash our revelators on your new home, but I'll have to unless you let us take a look around.
Fine. But just one of you, your partner. Do your work, then leave us in peace.
One, then. I'll be sure to report your compliance to the divine prosecution.
Like we have a choice in the matter. Come, join me for a meal. Meat's fresh enough.
Delightful. I suppose I'll stay here to break bread with the chief while you have a look around. Not the way I wanted things to go, but we will simply have to adapt. Did she? I must admit, I'm surprised. Lorne never talks about that ordeal. Certainly not with me, anyway. My. Are you an adminin or a confessor? Tarnamir is quite right. After all that happened, we had a difficult time getting back into a routine. I tried to keep things professional, healthy, but she was just lost. She never fully recovered. Tarnamir. When the Ghost of the Green returned, Tarnamir naturally called on the two people best suited to catch him. It was awkward at first, but we've managed. I suppose I have you to thank for that. In part, at least. Not regularly, no. We High Elves have acute memories, but I find that if you stay busy enough, you don't have time to reminisce. So much the better. Ah, yes. I hadn't even thought of that. A corrupt high elf merchant and an abused wood elf girl. There are certainly similarities. I find everything suspicious. Whoever this killer is, they've obviously acquainted themselves with the ghost's history and methods. We kept most of those details secret, but unscrupulous revelators routinely sell those details to enthusiasts. Honestly, I think this is the work of a deranged and obsessive mind. One of these wood elves read about the ghost of the green, saw an opportunity for cultural glory, for immortality, and seized it. Even so, Lorne and I have to be sure. Anything at all that could link this clan, or one of its members, to the murders of Halamorian or Fariel. None of these wood elves held Halamorian in high regard. We just need to find out if that enmity led to murder. Operate under the assumption that the killer was here, or still could be. Question everything you see and hear, and look out for any overt or subtle references to the ghost of the green.